I know many individuals, even some within the World Economic Forum, were slightly disappointed at how COP26 turned out. What kind of discussions are you having with individuals on the African continent to make sure that they're taken along in this race to net zero?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think as you say, COP26 did provide some positive progress, but not enough. And I think this will certainly come to the fore as the COP is hosted this coming year in Egypt, and with a conversation very much focusing on the kind of the issues and areas that remain unresolved. For example, how do we ensure that there is support for loss and damage that is already happening as a result of climate change? How do we ensure that the 100 million that was committed out of the Paris Agreement is again delivered in order to support economies deliver on their climate mitigation and adaptation targets? So there are a number of kind of still pending unresolved issues as you've highlighted, and these things are obviously critical in order to help really drive a global movement in terms of tackling climate change, because it has to be done as a global movement. The other piece of this is, of course, kind of ensuring that just and equitable transition, right? We will only do this if we enable economies globally to find a path to low carbon economies in a way that brings all of society along, right? So we saw good progress, for example, at COP with finance coming together, for example, for South Africa to move towards decarbonization, move away from coal, but importantly support the people on the ground in looking at new economic opportunities at a pragmatic level as well. So I think these are some of the key issues. How do we resolve and fulfill some of the commitments that are already, let's say, on the table in the context of the climate negotiations? How do we support kind of channeling of finance into key economies to support that transition? Because without that and without economic diversification, it simply won't happen. And then finally, I think, again, in the context of opportunity, there is incredible opportunity that we're seeing already in economies, including across Africa, for low carbon solutions. Solar, wind, hydrogen technologies are emerging across the continent. And this is a huge opportunity, again, to kind of diversify and pivot in terms of, the new economy that we hope to shape in the future.